On July 26, 2026, Red River Unitarian Universalist Church hosted the Reverend Dr. Mark Y.A. Davies speaking on AI and environmental justice. Of his service, Mark says, among the many ethical concerns related to AI is the detrimental environmental impact owing to the water and energy use of new AI data centers, and much of this environmental impact will be felt most acutely by the most vulnerable among us.
Welcome from Red River Unitarian Universalist. Thank you for joining us. The religion we practice in this church is centered in the here and now, rather than the hereafter. It is more of a thinking kind of religion than a believing kind. It is governed more by reason than by tradition, more concerned with the present than the past. It is concerned with getting the most out of life, with living wisely and well. A major aim for us is continually expanding our understanding of life and ourselves. This church is a community of people who share in the free and open search for a level of understanding that will enable us to be more fully and effectively alive. The church does not tell us what we must believe. It stimulates us to think. It supports us in our search. You are welcome to join us. Our centering value is love, with transformation, generosity, equity, interdependence, justice, and pluralism.
We join together this day with loving hearts, hands, and minds, embracing the interconnected web of water, air, and earth. We light a fire of sustaining hope, ever bright with love and justice. May we bring forth this day new wisdom, strength, and courage to create a new world not of wealth, but well-being. A world of new peace and abundance for all. As we give thanks for this earth, our shared and singular home, may we dedicate ourselves to its ongoing care, rising to the calls deep within us and all around us. May we respond today and always with courage and love. At this time, there's an opportunity to light our candles of community during our prelude. You can light a candle for a joy or concern, to remember a loved one, or simply to bring more light into our space. If ever there were a time for a candle in the darkness, this would be it. Using a spark of hope, kindle the flame of love, ignite the light of peace, and feed the flame of justice. Let's join together now in our spoken affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and freedom, and to help one another. We light this peace candle to remind us of all the places in the world where there is no peace. Join me in the words now on the screen. Lead me from death to life, from falsehood to truth. Lead me from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead me from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, our universe. This time we'll have a UU snippet on welcoming congregation.
Welcoming congregations. For more than 30 years, the Unitarian Universalist Association's Welcoming Congregation program has helped congregations like ours become more intentionally welcoming, inclusive of people of all sexual orientations, gender identities, and gender expression. At Red River Unitarian Universalist Church, we understand that true welcome is more than just an open door. It is a promise that we make one to another, and it's a practice that we renew daily. The Welcoming Congregation program is not a one-size-fits-all checklist. Each congregation designs a program that reflects its own community while engaging deeply with what it means to create authentic belonging through education, honest conversation, worship, congregational life, and community outreach. We continually ask, how can we become a place where every person is seen, valued, and celebrated? Recognition as a welcoming congregation requires measurable achievements in 3 areas: education, congregational life, and community outreach, followed by a congregational vote affirming recognition of the Unitarian Universalist Association. The program also encourages congregations to deepen their understanding of transgender, bisexual, and queer experiences, and to explore how sexual orientation and gender identity intersect with race, age, ability, culture, and class. This work begins by listening. It grows through learning, and it flourishes through relationships. Congregations are encouraged to build diverse leadership teams, engage in meaningful education opportunities, partner with local LGBTQIA+ organizations, and examine our own practices and create visible signs of welcome. And we do that through inclusive language, through worship, policies, and public witness. The journey typically unfolds over 18 months or more, but there is no real finish line. Becoming a welcoming congregation is an ongoing spiritual commitment to growth, to justice, and to love. So whoever you are, however that you love, whatever your gender identity or expression, whatever your age, race, ability, or background, you belong here. Because we believe that every person's light enriches our shared community, and that together we create a congregation where all of us can flourish in dignity, authenticity, and hope.
Our opening thought comes from the Dirty Truth of AI, published by the NAACP. Artificial intelligence and cloud computing have revolutionized how we live and work. But the dirty truth is that the warehouses full of computers that power AI threaten the progress we've made to protect people from pollutants. These data centers and the plants that power them typically burn fuels that emit hazardous chemicals that cause cancer and other health issues into the air that the local community breathes.
When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. To be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Next reading comes from a 2026 report from United Nations University titled Environmental Cost of Artificial Intelligence, Carbon, Water, and Land Footprints. The rapid rise of AI presents a growing sustainability challenge. Large-scale AI models demand substantial energy for both training and inference, and their appetite is growing faster than the world can decarbonize. Fossil fuels continue to dominate global electricity supply, while low-carbon sources have not yet scaled enough to replace them. The additional electricity required by AI makes the transition to renewables and sustainability more challenging by further increasing energy demand and amplifying the environmental impacts of power generation. Let's prepare ourselves for a time of meditation. Sitting as comfortably as you can, closing your eyes if you wish, taking a few deep breaths, breathing in and out. In and out. Breath of life and breath of love, we enter this time acknowledging that our human stories intersect with the story of animals. The watershed that sustains us sustains all life around us. We ask that our awareness expand to all the ways that we share this land with non-human life. Help us stretch beyond the human-worn patterns of movement and to notice more fully the path of the ravens overhead, the bob of the coyotes through the brush. May we heed the part of our shared story that warns of our climate emergency, an emergency that threatens not just human life, but all of creation. Remind us that we share a kinship with non-human animals. Help us to turn away from an extractive culture that views animals as a resource to be bought and used up, and instead help us fully acknowledge the gifts of these creatures of the earth and sky. In return for the gifts they share, let us give the gift of doing all we can to fight the climate crisis and chart a new way, a way of living in relationship with great care for all of life around us. Our next reading comes from Jacob Carter. The AI data center boom is an environmental justice crisis. Carter writes, the rapid expansion of data centers to power artificial intelligence is often described as a story of modern technology, innovation, and economic development. But for many environmental justice communities, it is a story about issues more familiar: a fight over land, water, energy, pollution, public money, and who gets a meaningful say before decisions are made. That's why the National Wildlife Federation's Environmental Justice, Health, and Community Resilience and Revitalization Program hosted a 3-part Clean Economy Coalition of Color Roundtable series on data centers. The series began with local perspectives and community impacts, where organizers and community leaders described what it means when data centers are proposed, approved, or built in underserved communities. Our second roundtable focused on policy and public health insights, examining the health risks, regulatory gaps, and governance questions raised by large-scale data center development. And a final roundtable turned to climate impacts and energy use, looking at how data centers are reshaping energy demand, utility planning, fossil fuel infrastructure, and household affordability. I knew going into the series that data centers were becoming an environmental justice issue. I was still floored by what we heard. Across all 3 conversations, the lesson was clear. We cannot separate the artificial intelligence data center boom from environmental justice. The data center boom is an environmental justice crisis.
The Talking AI Data Center Blues. Something came to mind. I was just informed about these AI data centers going up next door. Taking your water, taking your land, killing the farmer and his working hand. Concrete jungles, sitting on 10,000 acres. About to fool an entire nation, signing NDAs, blocking any sort of investigation. Yet I wonder why it's all kept confidential when all you hear about is the AI's potential. Potential means something we haven't already seen. Habitat loss, vacant warehouses, seeing that for years. Well, we all knew the cars would replace the horse, but I think we're heading for something much worse. Recall the peppered moth at the turn of the century. Of course, they don't want that in our memory. But history always repeats itself. Cuyahoga River fires, dust bowls, AI data centers. Zuckerberg, Musk, and GPT, they're already spying on you and me. The traffic lights and at the store, the Ring cameras on your front door. So much for privacy. Big Brother, 1984. We got TV stars as politicians. It's like the whole world stage is set up for comedians. Now I don't mind if they're for the cause of keeping our public lands from being lost. Port Washington, Wisconsin, Charlie Barron's, keep her moving. Now don't get me wrong, I still see the use. We learn to use it all as a tool. But I can send an email and I can make art, and the great thing about people is that we create with heart. So I say, we drink all our own water, read plenty of literature, and be our own AI data machines.
If I'd known that song was coming, might have just ended with that. So among the many ethical concerns related to artificial intelligence is the detrimental environmental impact owing to the water and energy use of the new AI data centers that our readings discussed this morning, that the song discussed this morning. And of course, much of this environmental impact will be felt most acutely by the most vulnerable among us. If you want to hear me talk a little bit in more detail about this topic and have some discussion about it, everyone's invited to join me and a few hundred other folks on a webinar this coming Tuesday, July 28th at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I'll be leading a webinar on the environmental implications of artificial intelligence. This is a conversation-centered online webinar created to explore the ethical, theological, and practical questions emerging around artificial intelligence. The webinar is focused on United Methodists, but I think anyone who attended would enjoy it. And I'll be focusing on the topic AI, creation care, and Christian responsibility. I'll make sure to get the link to that to you all before Tuesday if you'd like to register. The climate scientists warned us about more intense heat waves. They warned us about rising sea levels, worse droughts, more extreme flood events, stronger storms, more uncontrollable fires, crop losses, more diseases, acidification of the oceans, death of the coral reefs, accelerated extinction of species, crop loss, and more. But we let the oligarchs who are profiting off the demise of a livable climate call the political shots. And we need to collectively wake up before this nightmare becomes permanent, if it may already be. At precisely the time that the United States should be acting as a global leader in addressing our climate crisis, our emissions, for the first time in a decade, are actually increasing, owing to an increased energy use by artificial intelligence and an energy policy that overwhelmingly favors oil, natural gas, and coal. According to a new report from the Energy Institute, the United States was responsible in 2025 for 50% of the world's CO2 emissions growth. 50%. The lives of billions of persons are in the balance. Unless resisted successfully by a scientifically informed, pluralistic, and participatory democracy, the combination of oligarchic greed and anti-intellectual, racist, and patriarchal religious nationalism will lead large swaths of humanity into a new dark age, in which there may be a plethora of information, but very little wisdom, justice, or concern for the truth. The tech oligarchs are creating a world with enhanced artificial intelligence, but with significantly diminished human intelligence, a combination that gives them more power over us and more concentrated wealth for themselves. What is left of humanity and future generations will not understand how we let the greed of the few destroy the flourishing of the many. Most of us have probably not thought through all of the implications of the unregulated use of AI. Up until the last few weeks, I had not been thinking through them very much myself, but when you have to prepare for a webinar, it gets you to studying and researching. And I don't think after doing that it is, if you listen to the persons who are most responsible for the development of AI, the persons who are researching AI, I don't think it's inappropriate to be terrified of the potential consequences of unregulated AI in the very near future. Just this week, there were reports of an open AI system going rogue and hacking into other systems. And AI executives, just this past week, it went rogue and it started hacking into other systems. AI executives, developers, and researchers are openly discussing the percentage chance that AI will bring about disastrous consequences for humanity, such as existential catastrophe or extinction. And for a significant portion of them, the percentage chance is much higher than zero. I want it to be zero. They call this the P-doom, which stands for probability of doom. Probability of doom caused by AI. AI is also creating a crisis in education, as more and more students and sadly more and more educators are relying heavily on AI to do their research and writing for them. This is contributing to a crisis that is diminishing both critical thinking and creativity and the ability to read thoughtfully and write well. And it has caused me, as many of you know, to go back to the blue books in my exams in my classes, which has been one of the best things I've done over the past 2 years, because a significant percentage, a majority of students were using generative AI to simply take the prompts of essays, put it in generative AI, and have AI write their papers for them. But this morning, I'd like for us to especially consider the environmental impact of artificial intelligence and how this impact is being felt disproportionately by the most vulnerable persons and communities within our society and our world. The high electricity demands of AI data centers are exacerbating our climate crisis. And for the first time in a decade in the United States, we are seeing an increase in the use of coal for electricity generation owing to AI data centers. The data centers also require large amounts of water to keep them cool, and many of these centers are being built in areas that are already facing water stress and shortages. In addition to higher water bills and higher electric bills for those who live close to the data centers, they are also experiencing more air pollution and significant noise pollution as well. Understandably, no one wants an AI data center in their backyard. Not in my backyard. But this simply means that those with wealth and political power are able to keep the AI data centers at a distance, while persons living in poverty, and especially persons of color, increasingly find data centers in their communities. And they are disproportionately experiencing their most detrimental environmental effects. We have seen the NIMBY phenomenon over and over again when it comes to the negative environmental impacts of industrial activity, and it contributes directly to environmental injustice and to environmental racism. And of course, the climate crisis that AI data centers are exacerbating also has a disproportionate impact on those persons and those parts of the world that are the least responsible for causing the crisis. The aforementioned social, economic, and environmental concerns are why so many are calling for a moratorium on new data centers until we have a better understanding of their impacts. At the very least, we need robust regulations on AI to make sure that it is being used for purposes that are helpful rather than pernicious for humanity. There is a perspective within the Methodist tradition of Christianity. This is a little preview of what I'll be doing on Tuesday in the webinar, but there's a perspective within the Methodist tradition of Christianity that I do find to be helpful when addressing ethical concerns. It comes from the founder of the Methodist movement, John Wesley, who put forward 3 simple rules. I like simple rules. I like things to be simple. And these 3 simple rules are these. 1, do no harm. 2, do good. It's a little bit of difference. They're connected. And then the third, which not all of us might connect with in the same way, he said, stay in love with God. Now, express that perhaps as this. Stay in love with all things in the universe. Stay in love with all that is. Stay in love with all that's on the earth, right? So express love for all things in the universe, or at least on the earth. If you look at AI in relation to those 3 simple rules, AI is clearly doing harm, socially, economically, and environmentally. Is AI capable of doing good? Yes. But is the good that is being done worth the existential threat and the P-doom, the probability of doom that its unregulated use is creating? I fear not. Doesn't mean that a regulated form of it might not be able to do enough good that it outweighs the harm. But right now, in the unregulated format that we're seeing, I fear not. Does AI enhance our love for one another and for the earth as a whole? I'm not seeing it. Perhaps it is possible, once again, in some highly regulated form. But right now, it's clear to me that unregulated AI does not follow Wesley's 3 simple rules. It's doing more harm than good, and it's not connecting us with each other in beloved community. And I think it would serve humanity well to regulate its use and substantially reduce the probability of doom that so many AI researchers believe that the unregulated use of AI implies. If we want to do no harm, if we want to do positive good in the world, and if we want to stay in love with each other, with all of humanity, with all of nature, then we must heed this warning. Beware of any technology that substantially increases the probability of doom. Can I get an amen? Okay. And now we have a time for giving. You can give at the table, and there's also opportunities to give online. I love hearing Unitarians say amen. definitely agree that a wonderful UU formulation of the third simple rule is keep love at the center. Hear this benediction from Scott Cooper. This is our calling. The world aches for us to join together and bring about healing, toil for justice, and produce ever-increasing love. This is our calling. Go forth and act accordingly. Let us join together in extinguishing the chalices. We extinguish these flames, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.